Alrighty people, so the biggest dive death update is right around the corner. So I thought I'd make a video ranking every civilian ability in the game, and then putting them on a tier list. The way I'll be ranking these abilities will be based off things such as their impact, capabilities, their pros and cons, and also how well they synergize with the other abilities in the game, such as the offensive, defensive, supportive, and even selfish abilities. Starting out with the Adrenaline. Upon activation, the user will gain a massive speed boost for 6 seconds. During this time, you'll be highlighted for your teammates, and after the ability is over, you're going to be exhausted, which pretty much means your stamina won't regen for a short while, and his ability has a 35-second cooldown. When it comes to the impact, I'd say there isn't too much impact. After all, it's more of a selfish type of ability, and for its capabilities, this thing works super great for running away and creating some distance between you and any sort of threats, and of course this highlighting feature is very useful. It lets your teammate know your position on the map, and it kind of suggests if the killer is near you. But when it comes to the synergies with the other abilities, I'd say it works pretty well. For these offensive abilities, I'd say Punch works the best, because you can just punch the killer and easily get away. And when it comes to defensive abilities like Block and Taunt, it synergizes pretty well. You can pretty much taunt and run away. And for the supportive abilities, it's pretty self-explanatory, works super great. And of course, when it comes to any other selfish abilities, it's a very good combo. But unfortunately, the Hotdog ability isn't the best when paired with Adrenaline. And yeah, for the pros and cons, I'd say that Adrenaline is very good at gaining distances, letting teammates know your positioning thanks to the highlighting feature. But when it comes to the cons, you do get exhausted at the end. He also has some end lag after the running part is over. Unfortunately, because this is a selfish ability, you don't really bring any support to the team. And for my final ranking, I think the Adrenaline is a super solid ability. Let me put it in the A tier. A for Adrenaline. Moving on, we have the Banana ability. Upon activation, the user shoots a banana peel onto the floor. If the killer/user steps on it, they're going to be ragdolled for 2 seconds, and this ability has a 20-second cooldown. When it comes to the ability's impact, I'd say it does have some pretty decent impact on the game. It can definitely help your teammates escape from the killer. When it comes to the capabilities, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's really good for ragdolling the killer, making it very easy to set up other abilities such as a Punch, a Taunt, or Revolver. And because his ability is not a stun, the killer will not get force fielded after getting ragdolled, which is super amazing. When it comes to the synergy with other abilities, I'd say it works pretty well. For the offensive abilities, you can use it as a way to follow up. For these defensive abilities, I'd say it's pretty good. The block ability is just a block ability, but the taunt is definitely where it's at. You can ragdoll the killer into a taunt, which is going to be very annoying for them. And for the supportive abilities, it's pretty good. And the selfish abilities like Cloak, Dash, Hotdog, and Adrenaline, I think gets the job done. And yeah, for the pros and cons, the banana is really good for ragdolling a killer. The killer won't get force fielded upon getting potassiumed, and also this ability is pretty OP during the Showtime LMS. And for the cons, depending on the map and your positioning, these bananas can be pretty obvious. You do have a windup as you're using it, and of course these bananas can mess you up as well. And for my final ranking, I think the banana's alright. Let me put it in the B tier, B for banana. Next up, we have the block ability. Upon activation, the user will perform a blocking stance. Getting hit by mostly anything will grant a heal for 10 HP, give you a small speed boost, and also lock the killer abilities for 1 second. And block has a 40-second cooldown. When it comes to the block's impact, I'd say it does have some decent impact. I mean, not really. So in a game like Forsaken, you have Guest 137, he has a block ability, and his ability has something called Hit Priority, which pretty much means that the guest can kind of tank for a fellow survivor, depending on the killer ability. But unfortunately, you don't have any sort of hit priority and die of death. For the block's capabilities, it can lock the killer's abilities for 1 second, give you some HP and a nice speed boost, which makes you kind of self-sufficient/self-reliant. You can pretty much block anything. You can block artful with minions, which is pretty cool, or even the bleed damage overtime, which is very nice. You can even block the evil scary, oh my goodness, and when it comes to the block synergies, it's actually pretty solid. Any sort of offensive abilities will go hand in hand, because it's going to give you offensive and defensive capabilities. Anything defensive is good too, like a Taunt. Anything supportive is also pretty useful. And when it comes to selfish abilities like the Cloak, Dash, Adrenaline, or Hotdog, they all get the job done. And yeah, for the pros and cons, the block is really good at blocking almost every damage in a game. You're also very self-reliant thanks to your heal and speed boost. You can definitely lock killer abilities for a short while, which is very nice. And for some of the cons, I'd say the block does have a long cooldown for defensive ability. Unfortunately, there is no hit priority. Hopefully that will get added in the future. And of course, if you ever miss the block, you can easily get punished. And yeah, when it comes to my final ranking, let me give the block a solid A tier. Alrighty people, moving on, we have the BonusPad. Upon activation, the user will build a pad on the floor, and if any civilian steps on it, they're gonna gain a nice speed boost for 2 seconds, and this ability has a 60-second cooldown and reduces your HP by 10. For the bonus pad's impact, I'd say it does have some pretty high impact for the game. For the bonus pad's capabilities, it's obviously capable at speeding up the team and temporarily gaining some space between you and the killer, and when it comes to the synergies with other abilities, you really can't go wrong with any of them. For the offensive abilities like Punch, Revolver, and Banana, I'd say it works super well. You just stun the killer and then run away. For the defensive abilities like Block and Taunt, it's pretty solid and it works pretty well. For the supportive abilities like Caretaker, it turns into the Care Pad, which is an amazing synergy, and when it comes to the selfish abilities, they get the job done, especially Adrenaline, it turns you into a quick boy. Now for the pros and cons, the bonus pad's really good at giving you speed and gain some space between you and any sort of threats. Anyone on your team can use a bonus pad, so it's very effective for the team play. And the bonus pad does have a very long duration as you place it down. For the cons, you will need some time to place this thing down, so you will be vulnerable during that time. Also, I'm pretty sure if someone hits you as you're placing it down, your ability will get cancelled. For my final ranking, let me give the bonus pad an easy S tier. It's amazing and great. And yeah, that's gonna bring us on to the Caretaker ability. Upon activation, the user will splash their potion and heal anyone in front of them for an instant 10 HP, followed up by another 10 HP over time. This ability has a 30-second cooldown, and it reduces your HP by 25. When it comes to the Caretaker's impact, of course it has very high impact. You're pretty much the only healer in the game. For the Caretaker's capabilities, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're able to dish out a pretty decent heal on a reasonable amount of cooldown. And one thing I really like is that you can hit multiple civilians at the same time. And yeah, when it comes to the synergies with other abilities, I'd say it does get the job done. Of course, you do have lower HP than usual, so maybe an offensive ability might not be the best. Having an offensive ability is also pretty good. Block and Taunt are pretty solid abilities. The only supportive ability is Bonus Pad, which turns you into Care Pad. Oh my goodness, it's so OP. And honestly, any other selfish ability is going to be useful. And yeah, for the pros and cons, the Caretaker is really good at healing. You're one of the best healers in the entire game. You can heal your teammates. And when it comes to the cons, you do have lower HP than usual. You're probably going to get targeted because you are the main healer. And yeah, for my final ranking, let's be real here. Easy S tier right there. You're the guardian angel of the team. I love you guys so much. And yes, that's going to bring us on to the Cloak ability. Upon activation, the user will become invisible, and they're going to stay invisible for 10 seconds, but they'll have exhaust for the time being. After those 10 seconds, you're able to reappear, and his ability has a 40-second cooldown. For the Cloak's impact on a game, I'd say it does have low impact. You cannot really help out your team or anything like that. For the Cloak's capabilities, it's very good for evading the killer and trying to get away. The Cloak is pretty good for repositioning as well, and apparently it even counters the Evil Scary, which is very cool. And something cool you can do is go through the Artful's implement wall, and also counter the music box slowness, but just keep in mind this ability can be cancelled if the killer hits you as you're invisible. For the Cloak's synergies with other abilities, I'd say it's pretty decent. Offensive abilities are okay, you can kind of stun into a Cloak. As y'all can see right here, it's pretty cool. For the defensive abilities, I think they're okay. Block and Taunt are pretty good. When it comes to supportive abilities, they're pretty useful, helps out the entire team. And yeah, when it comes to other selfish abilities like Dash Adrenaline, they're super good, since it'll pretty much become untouchable. And yeah, when it comes to the pros and cons, the Cloak's great at evading the killer. You can also counter the killer abilities such as the Artful Walls. And yeah, for the cons of the abilities, this thing will get cancelled anytime you get hits. You will get exhausted during the time, so any ability that gives you negative stamina is pretty bad. You really need stamina with this thing. But for my final ranking, let me give the Cloak a B+. And yeah, that's gonna bring us on to the Dash ability. Upon activation, the user will dash forward at a great distance with a cost of 35 SP, and the dash has a 20-second cooldown. For the dash ability's impact, I'd say it is pretty low. It really only helps with yourself, it doesn't bring much to the team at all. For the capabilities, the dash is really good for evading the killer, or just getting some distance between them, and at a low cooldown, is actually a super great way for escaping. And when it comes to any ability synergies, I'd say it's very solid. For the defensive abilities, it gets the job done, just stun it and dash away. Defensive abilities aren't too bad, I think it's alright. Supportive abilities are also great since they're going to have lower HP, but the dash ability does allow you to temporarily escape. Any sort of selfish ability besides the Hotdog is going to be amazing for LMS. Now for the pros and cons, the dash is great at evading the killer and clearing some space. It has a very short cooldown at just 20 seconds, which is super amazing. And for the cons, it is a selfish ability, you can't really help out your team at all. For the final ranking, let me give the dash an easy S tier. It's super good for getting away, I like it a lot. And alrighty people, next up, we have the Hotdog ability. Upon activation, the user will consume a hot dog over the span of 3 seconds. Doing so will give you plus 5 extra HP and also heal you for 15 HP, but you will get minus 5 SP for every use, and his ability has a 25-second cooldown. For the ability's impact, I'd say it does have low impact. Obviously, it's a selfish ability. When it comes to the hot dog's capabilities, it's obviously known for making you a big boy. The extra HP is very useful, alongside a 15 HP heal is just super good. For the synergies with other abilities, it's not even that bad. Offensive abilities like Punch, Revolver are pretty good. For defensive abilities, it's pretty good. Taunt is very amazing, but the block, oh my goodness, it's super OP. For the supportive abilities, it's not too bad, and any other selfish abilities are kind of mid. You really need SP to work with them. Now, when it comes to the pros and cons, the hot dog's really good at giving yourself some HP and become tankier. Of course, the self-healing's amazing, giving yourself some self-sufficiency. I'd say the hot dog does have some pretty low cooldown as well, so you kind of just keep using it over and over. When it comes to the cons, you do lose some SP, which kind of sucks. You really need that stamina in the game. And of course, the hot dog doesn't synergize that well with abilities that need SP. And yes, for my final ranking, easy S tier right there, the hot dog is OP. Nah, I'm just kidding. But okay, in all seriousness, I think the hot dog is a B-. And yes, that's gonna bring us on to the punch ability. Upon activation, the user will punch forward, and this is able to stun the killer for 3 seconds if landed, deals 25 damage, and his ability has a 40-second cooldown. For the punch ability's impact, I'd say it does have some pretty high impact. The fact that you can stun the killer is the best thing ever. It helps everyone out on the team greatly. Obviously, for the punch capabilities, it can stun the killer for 3 seconds, allowing your teammates to escape. This thing can also be used to cancel killer abilities, like for super shrouding away. When it comes to the synergies with other abilities, it's great. Any offensive abilities will work perfectly, any sort of defensive abilities will work great as well. Supportive abilities are not too bad, and any sort of selfish abilities are actually pretty good. Literally any of them works, even the hot dog. Now for the pros and cons, the punch is really good at stunning the killer and stopping their tracks. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's also really good at canceling killer abilities, and also punishing killer abilities as well. And surprisingly, the punch has decent range. It's actually not that bad. And yeah, for the cons, if you miss the punch, you can easily be punished. And for my final ranking, let me put the punch in the S tier. And speaking about not missing, we have the Revolver. Upon activation, the user will shoot the Revolver. This shoots a projectile and can stun the killer for 2 seconds and deals 50 damage. There is a unique reloading system you need to do in order to shoot again, and a Revolver has a 15-second cooldown. For the ability's impact, feels like the punch, I'd say it's very impactful. Helps out the entire team because stuns are super great, and also it's a range stun, which is super good. Which brings us on to the capabilities. Obviously, you have a range stun. That's pretty cool. That's pretty OP. Oh my goodness. You just have to keep in mind that the projectile will need some time to travel, but on the bright side, the stun is very useful for the team. And when it comes to the synergies with other abilities, just like the punch, it's great. Offensive abilities will work super well together. Defensive abilities will also work super well too. And of course, supportive and selfish abilities are pretty good. They all get the job done. The Revolver is just very nice. And for the pros and cons, the Revolver is really good at stunning the killer from a distance. You have a very cool explosive AoE projectile, and obviously because this thing's a stun, it helps out the entire team. And I guess for the cons, you have a reload system, which isn't really a bad thing. I kind of like it. You can easily miss a projectile since the projectile isn't that quick, but at least it's something. And even with all those negatives, the Revolver is an easy S tier. Revolver is OP, it's amazing. And yes, people, finally, we have the Taunt ability. Upon activation, the user will pretty much taunt. If the killer is close enough, they will be taunted. And this basically makes the killer highlighted for every civilian. Some funny images appears on a killer screen. The taunt user gains a force field for 3 seconds, and his ability has a 25-second cooldown. For the ability's impact, I'd say it does have some sort of impact. I mean, the highlighting feature is pretty useful, and obviously for the taunt's capabilities, it's known to give you a nice force field if you land your taunt, of course. And of course, the highlighting part is very nice for the team. When it comes to the synergies with other abilities, I'd say it actually works pretty well. Especially offensive abilities, you can use it as a way to follow up after you stun them. Defensive abilities like Block is also pretty good. For supportive abilities like Caretaker and BonusPad, I'd say it's okay. And of course, for any sort of selfish abilities, they work just as fine. And yeah, for the pros and cons, Taunt's really good at being annoying and just covering the killer's screen, trying to distract them and stuff. Highlighting the killer position is also very good as well. Giving yourself an amazing force field shield is also really good as well. And also the Taunt is amazing at following up with stuns or ragdoll abilities. And for the cons, if you ever miss your ability, you will be easily punished, and unfortunately the Taunt doesn't instantly force field you. You need to hit it first in order for that to happen. And for the final ranking, let me give the Taunt an easy S tier. The Taunt is an S tier, it's going to be an S plus tier once this update comes out and gets reworked. I love the Taunt so much. And yes, people, that was my tier list of all the abilities in the game. I guess for Love Shot and Caretaker, we both know those are both S tier, so we don't really have to mention them. But yeah, that was me making a video of all the abilities in Die of Death. Let me know your thoughts down below on this list. I really like criticism, I like freedom of speech. I really want to know what y'all think about this list. And before we end, I just want to give a huge shout out. Huge thanks to all my YouTube channel members. I love you people so much. Y'all are very generous and very genuine people out there. I appreciate y'all very much. If I can give y'all a hug, I'll give you a hug like right now. If you give me your permission, of course, like I had to get permission. And okay, fine, the rules is gonna be funny cams, ain't gonna lie. So if you enjoyed, please like. If you guys didn't, please dislike. And yeah, this is this video.